gentlemen, for sticking with us and not going to other places. Here we have it, fresh into the draft. You won't even miss a ban. We're not wasting any time. As here we go, Mouse Sports. They take away that clock. They take away that DK, Planet Dog. The IO that you mentioned, Spartan, incredibly good on. He's not going to get the chance to do so. A very common opening ban against Mouse Sports. IO and the Nature's Prophet taken away. And Mouse opening with that straight up first pick for Thug, getting him the Queen of Pain.
This has to be like Nyx +1, right? That's like the standard response.
Seems reasonable.
I mean, it seems reasonable, but Planet Dog also have a pretty unconventional way of drafting versus like the other EU teams, I find.
I can see like a Night Stalker coming out here.
Yeah, NS too. Oh, they just go straight for 3-3.
Oh yeah, how can we
3-3s.
forget about that?
I don't know how I forgot about that.
You gotta get 3-3s here.
Yeah, there's the end. Oh,
Jeez, speed draft.
Well, it's definitely comfort picks all around, that's for sure.
Yeah, great opening from
Thug
both sides.
Quap, 33 Darkseer, MNT Treant. Yeah, this is autopilot.
See, if this was C, and I think it's still a pretty high probability, you'd think about maybe even taking out the Lina here, because like the classic there was that you would both pick your mid lane heroes early, since you knew it was pretty much going to be the Quap Lina matchup, and it's hard to mess that up.
Yeah, look at these bans as well, straight up, Veno, Ember. I think if you're Mouse Sports, you really have to worry about what's going to be comboing with that Darkseer. Sand King still in the pool, as you're mentioning. Nyx Assassin still available.
Milan Earth Spirit.
Yeah, Milan Earth Spirit. Even though I guess Milan will be playing the Night Stalker.
Probably.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's true.
So, actually, in that sense, I guess. But then there's still obviously 5s that you can certainly pick to combo with the Darkseer. Warlock, as we mentioned earlier, player that both
really
look for.
Jakiro is
Yeah,
good.
I think actually you bang on. I think Jakiro could be the one that's the hottest. Yeah. We may just see that Jakiro ban out, and indeed, straight up, there we have it. Jakiro's banned.
Veno is banned also.
Yeah.
Thank goodness.
I know. Because you're strapped in for a BO5, Draskell.
I don't mind casting the BO5, but if it was 5 Veno games, I'd probably... I would be maybe a little bit perturbed by having to watch 5 Veno games.
That's putting it lightly.
I wouldn't mind them taking like either their mid now, since they know what the matchup is going to be, and that way you leave open a support, but they're just going for it. Okay.
All right, so their support duo, is going to be Spirit Breaker and Night Stalker.
Well, you wanted
very
something to
active
combine
and
with
aggressive.
Darkseer.
I mean, both of their supports combine extremely well with Darkseer.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, SV, traditionally speaking, I would say against Tree is not super good, just because Living Armor counters your aggression, but with the Ion Shell, it's like you just kill the armor super fast, and I get to see it, boys.
Hell yeah.
You do,
The man,
you
the
get
myth,
the
the legend.
Warlock.
SSA Warlock.
Yeah, this is nothing surprising at all, really, from Mouse.
Although this is going to be way harder of a Warlock game.
Yes, I was about to say that. Like, this seems really spooky, and what are you going to stick safe lane now to try and help out? Because, like, honestly, you need somebody to make sure that Warlock just doesn't get dove over and over again with Ion Shells pushing in.
Well, so in this game, I think 33 can go back to his old style of just straight up Iron Taloning, because like Night Stalker and Spirit Breaker are going to be making so much space that chances are that Darkseer doesn't really need to stay in the lane very much. But then again, it worked out really well, the both games that we saw last series where 33 decided to lane. So they still have the versatility depending on what Mouse Sports pick as their safe lane.
Yep.
So.
Well, Kaiser knows the mid-lane matchup since the start. We'll get the puck, and Andy, this is you're happy if you're playing the puck in this 1v1?
Yeah, I mean, the puck does have an advantage. Like, ever since the hero got, like, what, 2 damage buffs, talents help him out tons. I think it is still down a little bit to player skill. Like, the Queen can still have a better time CSing if you're not, like, on point, but typically speaking, you would want to be the puck.
There we have the man, the myth, the legend, Skylark's hero for this game. Legion Commander on that off lane. And definitely a hero that can certainly deal with being on the map when you have this aggressive combination of Night Stalker and Spirit Breaker making the moves. So both teams leaving that position 1 pick till the end. Planet Dog, they'll take out the potential Madara anti-mage.
Be thankful for what you got at least here, alright? Madara
yeah,
AM would have really been the cherry on top, but...
And Razor ban from Mouse Sports, so maybe indicative of what they want to pick as their position 1 here for Madara.
It's been a really fast draft.
It has.
I mean, they were waiting like
I guess
30
they were,
minutes.
yeah, they had a lot of time to plan and prep and just know what they wanted to pull out this game. And I guess if anything just indicates that the bans have actually not affected what they had in plan because of how quickly they've been picking up their heroes. Still at this final pick, and they've both got around 2 minutes left in the reserve time. They've barely touched it.
This is spooky for mouz, I think. Like, this is a run at you lineup from Planet Dog, and they have very limited stuns. I'm pretty concerned. I don't know if Faceless Void's strong in lane. Maybe that's the, like, lining on top is that they do have strong laners, but if Planet Dog takes something that can hit towers here, probably not a BKB carrier because there are 4 things that go through BKB, but tower hitter, I mean, even a Viper or something is fine.
Yeah, that's both sides don't really have the best ways of taking down towers as of yet. mouz obviously great ways of keeping theirs alive.
They just drop Golem, take a team fight, you know, get 1 or 2 kills, and then kill the tier 1 based off dropping the rock. Later on in the game, Legion, if you have a good snowballing experience, hits buildings very well.
Okay, yeah, once you get the dual damage up and such, yeah.
I really like this Void pick, though. I think that is countering out a lot of Swift Ending's typical hero pool. Lifestealer is not very good now. I don't think Slark is very good now.
Nothing is really good against Chronosphere, is it?
No, it's not.
I think you just take someone that can't done it. Okay, they take the Troll. Okay, so there is your push from Planet Dog. Obviously very good with the Spirit Breaker, that Battle Trance. So here we have it. Game 1 of the best of 5 grand finals. mouz Sports versus Planet Dog. What are we thinking? Is there a draft that you feel has the edge?
I like Planet Dog's draft more. I think that they're going to be able to get a lot done early. The tempo is going to be quick. They just keep on running them, keep on going. We get gunshots outside. Help!
Help!
Well, it worked.
We're fine, Rob.
No, we're fine, Rob.
False alarm.
Someone was banging at the door.
No, I think they're just like moving stuff with a
playing like a creepy xylophone or something. I don't know. Oh, it's the garbage man.
Oh, it's the garbage
Whatever.
man.
Sorry.
All right.
Close enough.
Yeah. Just
Here
drop
to take
Navi out the back.
trash.
Yeah.
No.
Joking.
Too soon.
No, too soon.
It
I
hurts.
love Bendy. He's a beautiful man, and the rest of them. But anyway, we have mouz Sports versus Planet Dog. Thank you very much to you two. You two are going to take a bit of a breather.
Yes,
you'll be
sir.
joining us for many more drafts in this series. We'll see you in game 2. But for now, it'll be myself and Andy as we get ourselves stuck into this one. It's going to be fun. It's going to be exciting. mouz Sports, Planet Dog. Oh my goodness! What are we going to see? Are we going to see anyone play some crazy lanes? We did see yesterday. mouz Sports bring out some aggressive tri lanes. Is there anyone going to be dodging any side lanes here in this match, or will it be standard stuff?
No, I think it'll probably be more standard. The only thing that you're likely to see is either the NS or the Spirit Breaker are going to be hanging around by 33 sometimes, just because of the Ion Shell and how much you can actually pressure. I'm curious to see how much he actually gets out of his lane, or 33 decides that he just wants to go to the jungle. I know Ben was talking about that during the previous series, just his desire to always be able to get farm. So if he feels like his lane's too difficult, he usually just bails. I think in this game it's probably fine to do that because the tree is the only one who realistically can find you, and the other hero's a warlock. So I don't think Spartan's going to be making any like aggressive incursions into your woods.
Alrighty, well we'll see. Indeed, yeah, those movements, as you mentioned, are going to be all very, very much crucial in these early stages. And we'll give you, ladies and gentlemen at home, a quick rundown of who's playing what, just so you can get yourself familiarized with the state of the game. We will have Madara on the safe lane Void, Spartan on that signature support Warlock Thug, once again on one of his favorites, the Queen of Pain in the middle lane, bottom lane Skylark, playing that Legion Commander, and MNT roaming around with the Treant Protector. Over on the side of Planet Dog, 3-3. Just going to run into a couple of them here. Is playing the Dogs. He does have a Kaiser here as well. They'll be able to give Spartan a bit of a rundown with the Iron Shell. Spartan looking to try and juke his way out of this one. As at the moment, the Shadow Word heal, it's not quite outdoing the damage from the Iron Shell. They'll continue to run him down. Madara's looking to block him off to make sure 3-3 can't get the kill. But now Madara, 18 seconds without another time walk, he's going to have to be healed up by the Shadow Word, and that's going to leave Spartan in a very vulnerable position as Kaiser takes the first blood. Brilliant start for the puck, picks up the TP, gets himself over to the mid lane where Milan, hanging around on the roaming Night Stalker, is hanging about. Bottom lane, Swift Ending playing the safe lane Troll, J4 on the Spirit Breaker. But whoop-de-doo, what a start there for the puck, first blood.
Yeah, it looked like for a second there that they were going to be able to save him, but despite Madara's best efforts, they still managed to get it. So yeah, this lane is kind of what we were expecting. 33 is sticking around for a bit. He didn't start with the Iron Talent build, though, so I guess with the massive amount of regen he has, he's looking to stick around for a little bit longer. And then towards the middle lane, Thug. The Night Stalker can't really do a ton. I mean, you can kind of stop CSing a little bit here and there by just walking forward and kind of being a nuisance. And bottom is just... it's a mess, Owen. There are just a ton of strength heroes, and one edgy hero all just trying to right-click each other.
We'll see who's actually going to get the edge with it. Well, we've got Sentry drop down from MNT. And again, punch onto J4. Heavy amounts of damage being taken by the Spirit Breaker. 2 tangos left on him. Swift Edding definitely kitted up for the harassment with his 6 tangos still in ready to be popped if necessary. Top lane, the pull being made as Milan takes the creeps around so he can find them back in safety. 3-3 trying to be efficient. Him himself soaking up the action in the jungle. Milan will look to get the XP from the lane creeps.
Kind of deciding who's actually going to get the better of this. I guess if, you know, Milan can keep the lane kind of like this with the drag and, you know, 3-3s farming the woods. Efficiency-wise, I guess you kind of got to favor Planet Dog in the laning phase for the time being. And a lot of it's also going to come down to, you know, mouz Sports. Once they get level 6, because they have a support hero that has such a big, like, game-changing ultimate like Chaotic Offering, your safe laner is going to be bringing in Chronosphere, you got Sonic Wave. There's a lot of team fight and AoE damage potential coming in from mouz. So regardless of how fast of tempo Planet Dog can play, I feel like mouz are always going to have a really strong ultimate to kind of answer back.
Mid lane, CS as it is, 12 for 4 on Thug, 12 for 2 on Kaiser, very even. MNT does have an Invis rune. We'll see how much he can do. Has the level 2, Leech Seed as well, Thug. They could certainly have a good shot at bringing down Kaiser. He's already down to half health.
He's kind of hoping he orbs aggressively. That's, I think, one of the only ways they can kill him in the situation. Kaiser not going to fall for it, though.
Not
Very
keeping himself
play.
around. It will cancel the south, but not the chance of getting that kill that MNT will have maybe hoped for with that rotation. Top lane, Milan getting involved in the small creep camp pull that Spartan has made. Iron Shell upon him, and Milan surged up. They'll look for a bit of a chase down onto Spartan. The Shadow had already used. Spartan's going to take a fair bit of damage from this. He'll try and get himself back into the tower, but with a Void back up in a second, it may not even be necessary, to be fair. The Iron Shell does its work. Milan chases down and gets the second kill for Planet Dog in this opening.
This is why we were mentioning how difficult of a Warlock game it was going to be. The lane pressure is just too much. If they want to try to protect him, they're going to need like MNT to stick around, but J4 looks like he's going to be getting hit here.
MNT with these plays, with these movements, coming down bottom and finding the Spirit Breaker down low. Swift Edding trying to man up, but with the Invis ticking back in, MNT is able to walk himself back to safety and get mouz Sports that first kill on the board.
As so far, mouz still with a little bit of a net worth lead, nothing really of note. I think the biggest things to keep in mind is kind of what we already mulled over, just the idea of how much ult power they have. Charge on mid here. Good blink by Thug.
Will be blink back. J4 holds back. South popped. Spartan has a haste rune. Likely to really be able to do anything with it aggressively. Does manage to get a ward drop down, at the least.
Can soak some EXP from the stack.
That's certainly true. Kind of maybe just, no, he's not going to get that one. It's on the Iron Shell. Wears off, so the Centaur won't be dying quite for now. Bottom lane, space being given to mouz. So Skylark's able to amp on the pressure. Swift being forced out of lane. 19 CS at the moment. He is going to start falling behind with the pressure that these two are putting on, as there's really not been that much attempt from Planet Dog to really give him a hand down bottom, other than Spirit Breaker hanging around. But as we saw, J4 did pay with his life earlier. Charge onto mid will be cancelled once again as Thug, quick with the blink out, puts himself in a position that's very hard for Planet Dog to follow through on. So overall, considering the mid lane and the safe lane, mouz getting the slightly better trade in amounts of farm that they're finding in this early game.
Yeah, this middle lane is a perfect example of why mouz always just like first phase their queen. If Thug wants to play the hero, because it's I think his most played, and it's definitely one of his favorite heroes.
It's either the Queen of Pain or the TA, yeah. That's like just number one. Bottom lane again, another chance to try and make something happen. This time J4's there with the charge. The bash is onto Skylark, keeping Swift Ending safe. Top lane, we may also see some aggressions. Milan wraps around with the Iron Shell. Madara blocking him off with Spartan. But 33 and Milan definitely continuing to be a pretty big old nuisance for the Warlock at the least. Not that much so against the Void, as Madara still gets the CS top of the board on that Void. The off lane of mouz just looked to be slightly more effective in terms of limiting the safe lane. A very deep move coming from Milan as he's hunting in the trees. He does find Spartan, And we'll chase him down a little bit. Has to be careful coming there to the tower, and he's sort of stuck down behind here.
He's got a path.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he walked back there. He didn't have to use Hunter in the night or anything like that. He just simply walked in.
Oh, yeah. To the tree down there.
Yeah.
Courier flies past. 3-3 gets a punch in. Not enough to bring it all the way down. 6 minutes in, only 2 for 1. Things being pretty calm in this early stage. No one getting massively crushed. Ooh, nice surge onto Milan, setting him up to try and look for the courier kill. But it's just out in time back to safety over the tree line. Milan makes it to ground, see if he could find it, but it wasn't going to be the case as he's up on the cliff.
He popped his passive, didn't see it. Probably was assuming it was going to walk straight back, but Spartan made sure to send it about as high on the map as you can possibly go. But all things considered, you know, the only 2 kills coming out from the side of Planet Dog, both being on the Warlock, it's not really a huge deal for mouz. I'm sure Spartan kind of assumed that he might end up dropping 1 or 2 times. The thing that I really like about what mouz is doing is having the tree pretty much always be bottom, because it makes J4 feel like he has to stay here. And the Spirit Breaker not being able to run around the map. So we see a coil mid.
Mid lane, coming in, dropping the coil in the silence, but with Skylark reacting, can they get him out? They can't. They'll burst down the Queen of Pain. Big kill there for the side of Planet Dog. They may get more. They look towards Skylark. Charges coming in as well. They'll find it. 2 kills in the mid lane. 2 cores getting taken down. Not what Skylark hoped for as he came in with the air reaction. The same time, top lane Madara moves in. Will drop the Chrono with that newly found Malska Madness to get the pick off onto the Darkseer. But Planet Dog with a superior movement towards the mid lane. That's pretty damn big for them there. Taking down Skylark and Thug.
That's one of the risks you run of having just like very deep wards. Because you can see right now, mouz vision pretty much only pertains to the little area between the tier 2s of top and middle. So they can't really see the rotations of the Night Stalker anymore, and it's very hard to keep tabs on him if he's not showing on the map. So Milan manages to get something done right before the next day phase, which is big. And getting a kill on the Queen, like one of the higher priority heroes of mouz currently.
Swift. See if we can get the bash. This is going to be the case. Top lane, 3-3. Forcing Madara to time walk back. There is a charge coming in upon this. They will possibly dive this. He's not got the mana for another time walk. He's still on cooldown as well. Madara getting surrounded. Spartan is there, but I don't know how much he can really do to hold this back off. And it doesn't look like he could do much at all. Just enough mana for the time walk, but he can't get it off. The silence comes in just in time from Milan. And they take another kill. Planet Dog starting to get some hefty momentum going as they take down core after core of mouz Sports.
That was so close. Like, not even a second, and he would have been able to walk out of there. Very nice timing there by Milan, getting the crippling fear off. And with that, you know, he's level 5. So his early game has been, you know, getting a kill during daytime as Night Stalker feels so good, because you don't normally expect that kind of stuff to happen. Sure, the Void still does damage, but it's not as effective. Same thing can be said for crippling fear. And now it's kind of the tempo that we were expecting for Planet Dog's lineup. You know, they just want to fight.
Dara jumping in. Aggressively onto Milan. Will get the bash. MNT is there as well to help out. 3-3 trying to do anything he can to save Milan. Milan just goes for the straight TP out. No, there's no further cancel, as he will be able to avoid that aggression. Swift ending. Actually TPing up to the top shrine. See if he wants to get himself involved. Kaiser up here as well with the Arcane Rune Dream Coil ready to go if he sees an opportunity to allow Planet Dog to move in and again punish Madara, but the Chronosphere is back up. At the same time, whilst this goes up on the top lane, mouz, 3 members down bottom, looking for a bit of a mirror movement, as they are also seeing if they can get a catch by their tier 1. It's going to be top where the jump's made first though. J4 getting the charge in onto Madara. Chrono's drop, holds the Spirit Breaker back. Can the rest of the team get in to help finish on Madara? They can't. He time walks out to the sidelines. He'll survive. Rotation from Skylark comes in as they get the duel. Punish J4. Kaiser still continuing to move forward. But MNT and Madara, they're still alive. Madara, time walk's not going to be there for 8 seconds, and they do find the kill. Sonic Wave from Thug comes out, but Kaiser, he's still absolutely fine. Skylark gets dragged back by the vacuum for 3-3, and it will be Planet Dog finding the 3 kills. MNT looks for the lead seed onto 3-3. It shouldn't be enough to bring him down as he gets himself away. And Planet Dog getting the job done up top. Regardless of the fact that Chrono duel came out, only one of their own dying, and overall they take the favorable trade once again.
It was just the spell usage of mouz was not really the best. I think what happened was Madara kind of panicked when he got charged. He ate so much damage from the Ion Shell creep because he was CSing onto the tower, so the charge coming in from J4 across the map, it hits him and he's like, if I don't Chrono here, I'm pretty much just going to die. He eats the coil.
MNT. He is in a lot of trouble. Do they have detection on J4? They don't have any on J4. Oh, they had dust on themselves. Yeah, they didn't even need the Spirit Breakers to finish the journey.
God, there is so much pressure being applied here from Planet Dog. mouz trying to find their footing currently. They're going to need to wait for another Chrono and a Sonic Wave, I think, to truly take fights. On the bright side, Spartan does have his level 6. So they're going to have Chaotic Offering as well for a method of disengage. It's really nice against heroes like Spirit Breaker because you can sit very far and like interrupt his chain of initiation, which is the Charge of Darkness right into Nether Strike. That'll help a lot. It could be the first time that we see mouz actually get some kind of decent coordination going in the fight.
And they do have some great ways to play around with the fatality of the Fatal Bonds. You know, if they can land that into multi-man, overwhelming odds, Sonic Waves, Screamer Pains, that is a ridiculous amount of damage. They have an incredibly powerful team fight if they can find the setup and can pull it off. But as it's been so far, as you say, Planet Dog just with the smarter moves in these early game fights.
A lot of it's just about creating chaos. You know, the Spirit Breaker charge does that very well. Night Stalker is the same, as long as you're off the map. People don't know what you're up to. You walk in, you throw out a couple of spells, you walk out. You force the enemy team into an uncomfortable situation. And when that happens, you see team fights like we saw under mouz's Tier 1 in the top lane, which is very discombobulated. Chrono.
He is going to jump in. There is backup, though, on the way for the side of Planet Dog. Can they get Swift Ending out of here? Yeah, look at this chaos just running straight in onto the wall, like everything being thrown down. Swift Ending, he's going to survive for the time being as well. In fact, he wants to turn. Kaiser comes in with the silence. The Sonic Wave will finish off the troll. Thug at least able to redeem something out of the fight, but again, 3-3 picks up the double kill. Chronosphere being dropped, but it's not enough. As you mentioned it, just the fact that Night Stalker and Spirit Breaker, they have their sights set for exactly what they need to. They see Spartan, they make sure there's no chance for a Chaotic Offering follow-up.
I just think that if the rest of mouz were there a little bit faster, he might have felt comfortable dropping a rock for that. Because it would have canceled the charge, it would have stunned the Night Stalker during his flight, which, you know, maybe you still end up dying, but at the very least, if the rest of your team is there, you can follow it up with an Overgrowth, and maybe you have a little bit more damage to output. But because of the fact that mouz were not in position to defend, he didn't feel comfortable throwing out the Chaotic Offering. So in the end, they do get the kill on the Troll, but ultimately the trades for Planet Dog just always seem to be on point.
Absolutely. They've got that 4K lead, not necessarily the biggest, but certainly one that's steadily growing, as we can see on the network after these movements. Swift very close to having Vladimir's complete. Milan just working on the wand and getting some more wards out for the side. Kaiser, 1500 towards his Blink Dagger. We'll see what Thug's first item this game is going to be on the Queen of Pen. Is there a specific one? We see a lot of sort of versatility in what Quaps like to pick up first. What's the item this game round?
I think Orchid's always really good, but it also kind of necessitates you having a very good early game. He's still highest net worth on his team, so it's still always an option. I've seen Veil and Yules a lot as well. Yules is very valuable this game. There's 2 silences, one from the Night Stalker, one from the Puck. Good way to keep yourself alive during the fights. It kind of allows you to get more than 1 round of spells off before you have to completely retreat. So normally what Queen does is you blink in, you scream, you Sonic Wave, you dagger somebody, and then you have to think about, you know, if the fight isn't already won, then you need to wait for your spells to come back up. Yules allows you to do that a lot easier.
Mid lane may become the next focus as Swift Ending steps forward. MNT and Spartan do have eyes upon him. Top lane, Skylark being eyed up by J4 and 3-3. They're ready to go in. A good scan as well from the Radiant, as you can see there, just to ensure that there was no backup behind him. So they know that they can have a safe go for this. He is going to make them work for it indeed with this run to the tree line. He's going to look for the TP. Is he actually going to make it? They're going to need a first hit back. They don't even get the chance to do it. Nice, neat escape there from Skylark into a situation where he looks sure to be dead. He was 1 hit away before he got that press the attack off.
Yeah, the overwhelming odds, movement speed, plus the phase. He was so fast when he got out of there. Very nicely done there from Skylark. Okay, smoke up. Ultimates are pretty much all available on the side of mouz.
See what they can get. Milan in the mid lane, they're not messing around. mouz, they do just drop the Chrono. Looking for the Night Stalker kill. Chrono and Sonic Wave used to ensure that they can pick it up. So, 2 big ultimates. It is just a Night Stalker, but at least in a game where you are behind in terms of kills, you're getting the guaranteed kill. But still, I think Planet Dog are certainly going to be feeling like they're they are in the driving seat off the back of this early lane.
I think so as well. The thing about Mouz lineup is even though they use Sonic Wave and Chrono, they still have Golem and Overgrowth.
True.
So they still have a lot of... They have control in the other two ultimates that they currently have. And I guess if the Fatal Bonds lands well, and you know, the Scream is on point, you can still deal a fair amount of AoE damage. I guess that's one thing about Mouz lineup that you kind of have to worry about, is they don't have damage unless the Fatal Bonds hits and the Queen spells all connect until Madara has farm.
Oh, up they come with the smoke. Was scanned out, though, by mouz. So they know that there's some fishy business going on. Straight up the pings up top to tell Madara to keep himself well and truly hidden. MNT hanging deep in the tree line around the mid lane. It's a deep wraparound from Planet Dog behind that tier 2 to see if they can get anything. They put the nighttime, so they won't find anything straight off the bat. Skylark reveals his position, chopping down the nuke to try and hold back the wave. They're sticking strong on the mid lane, Planet Dog. Doesn't look like they want to stick around any longer, though. The smoke wearing out, they know that mouz Sports are fully aware of their position. They'll leave the lane, back off. Meanwhile, down bottom, Thug did indeed go for that Yule Scepter, his first pickup. So the elusiveness steps up. Thug with that extra ability to play his way around the team fight and feel fairly safe against those silences.
Yeah, I think it's probably the overall best choice that you can make in this game. Just because it does also allow you to cancel TPs. It has multiple uses. So a very solid choice coming in from a very experienced Queen player. But in the meantime, Planet Dog able to get the tier 2 in the top lane.
Here we go. Charge onto Madara with the Nether Strike and the silence to follow through. He just gets bursted down. That's the Void gone. They look towards MNTs, trying for the TP out, but the bash comes through from J4. Planet Dog grab themselves another easy 2 kills. And they are making some great progress as well. They're 17 minutes into the game. Tier 1 and Tier 2 already off the top lane. Tier 1 gone in the middle. And this is against a Treant lineup. And with that Treant, you are hoping to protect those towers. And so far, mouz have struggled to do so against the aggression of Planet Dog. And off the back of those 2 kills, they'll head into Roshan. It's a little bit risky. You can see them maybe sort of starting to second guess it as they back out of the pick, because Void will be back. And you do indeed have mouz heading straight across. Silence there to make sure the chaotic offering doesn't come in time. They want to throw everything at the Warlock to make sure he doesn't get it off, and he doesn't. Madara does still find the Chrono. Sonic Wave comes down to 3, but the follow-up damage isn't quite there. The pipe is already out and done for 3-3, keeping the team alive. There's the chase down from Swift on towards Skylark. Wrap around from Thug, looking to play around with Kaiser, but he orbs forward. The Skylark Legion Commander in trouble as they take off the living armor, fight through it, bring down the Legion, force the rest of mouz Sports back. MNT dusted up. He's going to be the 3rd casualty of this fight, as Planet Dog assert their authority around the Roshan pit. Just really smart, heads up, no hesitation there to blow up the Warlock at all costs. Knowing they take Spartan out the fight, they have an incredibly strong chance of winning it.
Yeah, not having the Fatal Bonds. That's what we were talking about earlier, just before that fight broke out. The lack of damage if there's not a Fatal Bonds on the targets where the AoE spells come out, because your safe laner doesn't deal DPS without items. That's why Madara feels like he has to go for this Mask of Madness and the Shadow Blade build, because without those items, he's just not going to hit hard enough to really be a threat, even if he does bring a lot of control. Tree is the same thing, brings a lot of control. After the laning phase breaks down, he doesn't really do that much damage on his own. Queen has fairly good bursts, but into a pipe already, coming out on 3-3, and soon to be a mech, and I would assume straight into Guardian Greaves at this point, or maybe a Blink. It's seeming like mouz's biggest issue is that if they don't land all of their spells perfectly, they just don't have the DPS to bring down the members of Planet Dog.
It's going to get harder and harder as well. I mean, Legion, Skylark does now have that Blink, but the Night Stalker being in this game, the Crippling Fear, the Medallion, there's lots of ways that Planet Dog can make it very hard for Skylark to get a successful duel off. It's incredibly hard against this lineup to just find the time and space, unless it is a pure solo pickoff. But you're going to need backup. There's no way Skylark can do anything on his own against the majority of these heroes. It's a hard game for this Legion, I feel, with the way that this early game has gone. 20 minutes in, 9k behind overall as a team.
Yeah, he kind of needs Blade Mail before he can really think about dueling anyone. I mean, look at their lineup. It's
who do you duel?
It's a Night Stalker, a Troll, a Spirit Breaker, and a Darkseer with a mech and a pipe. There is not really a good target. The Puck is probably the best just because if you lock her down or lock him down, whichever, that you can maybe burst. But
still very, very difficult.
Some really effective pushing going on for the side of Planet Dog as they take another tier 2 top lane. They jump in with the silence center. Madara will be purged off from Skylark for the time being. He does have a chrono. Thinking about potentially turning around. They have the ult, dueling the Night Stalker. Are they going to be able to kill him in time? They don't get the bonus damage, but they do get the kill. Actually, sorry, they did. Or was that from earlier? It looked like that happened afterwards.
No. He didn't get damage.
He didn't get damage. That was from an earlier one. Meanwhile, in the river, vacuum onto 2. J4 jumping in with another strike. Self-fuels here as they're going to see if they can get the quap out. Chaotic Offering jumped onto 3. There's the chrono. Do they have the damage? The Fatal Bonds and the Sonic Wave doing a lot. They're trying to finish this off. The heals coming out. It's enough to save one, but overall, this time it's mouz taking the team fight off the back of a brilliant chrono. Sonic Wave, Fatal Bonds combination. 3 are down. Swift ending back with his second life. Thug healed up by the living armor. Willer to try and continue to chase, holding back the troll with the Yule Scepter. All from Kaiser as he's hunting for that Thug Queen of Pain, but Thug is out of there. And that was exactly what mouz Sports needed. We saw that if they can get off all their spells together, get that Fatal Bonds out, as you say, during the chrono, they do have the damage. Only just, but they do have it. It's still possible.
It's scary that they almost didn't get kills there.
Yeah,
like
it was close.
That was terrifyingly close to not working.
Yeah, the mech and pipe nearly enough to keep Planet Dog alive there.
Now you have to wonder, do Planet Dog just go like immediately for the smoke play? Because they are not really ult reliant at all. Like sure, Coil is nice and having the Spirit Breaker ultimate is nice too, but realistically speaking, they have heroes that are good at fighting a low cooldown, skirmish oriented lineup, I guess you could call it. You can punish the downtime of these ultimates. When you know that mouz needs to play like that in order to win a fight, you say, okay, great. Chrono's down, Rock is down, let's just push a tower.
Mid lane Milan. So he doesn't want to go any further in for that one, but at the least keeping Spartan back. As Swift Ending moves in on the mid lane. 23 minutes in. Planet Dog looking to take the final tier 2 off mouz Sports half of the map. And with a little difficulty at all. No attempt from mouz Sports to hold a defense outside the base with their ultimates down. No way that they can do anything without those big spells to control and have the damage to take them. J4, the charge up onto top. Madara TP's out just in time. Won't be a chance for the gap to be closed. MNT does stick around, soaking up the XP, but unlikely that the side of Planet Dog have the info that Treant's around. So Kaiser simply moves the lane across up top. Madara, Chronosphere's back online, as well as Chaotic Offering. Still 30 seconds on that one. Top lane, Skylark actually going to get the jump in onto Kaiser, but ooh, that silence though, making sure that no jewel comes out. The overgrowth a little too late as Kaiser plays his way out of that one. I'll tell you what, that silence as soon as the blink came in, I feel that was accidental. I think it was just bursting down the weight, but that saved his life.
It definitely saved him. He didn't even know MNT was there either. He just like randomly blinked back.
Inadvertently dodging imminent death from 2. 2 of the heroes that are the best at locking him down as well.
Well, mouz are going to have pretty much everything but overgrowth now. They want to try to take another team fight. Shadowblade completed now. Madara, he's got the Yasha after the team fight.
Yeah, they're going for the Manta against all these silences that Planet Dog have upon their lineup. And they're out of there.
I guess Planet Dog are now respecting the team fight a lot more, knowing that everything is pretty much going to be off cooldown. It is extremely dangerous to just kind of run haphazardly into mouz's lineup at this stage.
I mean, we saw though, pretty much with what, around a 10k lead, they still very much can lose a team fight against mouz if mouz get the combo. Orchid now done on to Thug, so he has that extra potential to find those solo picks. And certainly cause... Oh, okay, no, Puck has that Yules. Puck's still pretty safe, and even the others, to be fair, even if they get silenced, they're still going to be almost certainly able to outlive the duration, as they are very tanky heroes on the side of Planet Dog.
Yeah, I think the Orchid's still okay to eventually build into something like a Bloodthorn.
Oh, definitely.
You have to assume that evasion is going to be coming up. It's nice inside of the Chrono too, because it's also giving benefit to Madara's damage.
Yeah.
And we talked about like the lack of damage output given or without, I guess, a perfect initiation, but sooner or later Madara will be able to hit hard enough to carry his own weight.
Bottom lane, smoke up from the side. MNT, the one in the neighborhood that will end up dispelling it. They'll pop the dust. It's not going to connect onto MNT. So it looks like this smoke unsuccessful in terms of finding something down point. If they continue to sweep around through the jungle, they could run into mouz. mouz at the moment on the low ground. They do have the high ground advantage here, Planet Dog. They're going to know something's up. Skylight heads forward, immediate silence, charge through, onto the Legion. The Chrono comes out, but oh no! It's not really a good Chrono in the sense that 2 of his own team get caught on the side. They then die. The Dream Cold comes down onto both Madara and MNT, and now with the Void being silenced up as well, he's going to pay for his sins. A third one down. I mean, you can see what they were trying to do. As soon as that smoke dispelled, Madara knew there was action up on the high ground, but 2 of his team getting trapped on the side of that Chrono, it ended up being more than an oh-no, Andy. That was not the dream there.
I don't know if he saw Swift ending before he dropped the Chrono. I think that's the only reason he Chronoed like that. Like, if he doesn't see the troll on the left side of the fight, then it kind of makes sense, because he was trying to get the edge Chrono, you know, with his team not really inside of it, but unfortunately that wasn't the case. Charge here again.
They just going straight in now. The vacuum dragging the Spartan Warlock straight into the clutches of Kaiser and the boys, and here we have it, pushing on forward. They know they don't have to worry about Chronosphere for 70 seconds. This is a very good opportunity for Planet Dog to get the damage done in the middle lane. Swift ending, manning up. He's got BKB, SMY, and Vlad's very tanky for this stage of the game on the Troll. And great amounts of siege potential as well. Thug comes forward, trying to get them off. Living Armor is just ripped off the tower immediately. Dara heading in with the Shadow Blade. Very little he can do. In fact, Kaiser just jumps back in aggressively. Lands the Silent Skylight, coming in looking for dual potential, but can't quite close the gap onto Swift. Living Armor will start to tick that tower back up, and looks like having 5 back on the map is enough to scare them off. They know Chaotic Offering still at the ready. And
well,
this
Roshan's going to be up like pretty much right as they walk back. I don't know if they want to do it right away. I guess Chrono is still going to be down for a little bit. Someone has to walk into the pit though. No one's actually scouted it yet.
There we go, J4. It's got eyes on it. Will they look to do it? Swift ending. He says, yep.
Yeah, with the Solar Crest, it'll be quite easy. I think mouz, they should have enough time to get here, but they have to move. They have to move like now. If they're not going to be making their way over, yeah, it's already too late.
This is just getting ripped to pieces with that solar on.
Yeah, it's too late. I thought they were grouping up to actually smoke, but in reality they were just a little bit scared, so they were farming together as a team right outside of the base. So again, Aegis going the way of Planet Dog. This could actually just be Rax if the team fight coming in from mouz isn't on point.
Very strong lead at this stage. 28 minutes in, 12k gold lead. They are going to look to try and react to mouz's push down bottom. Milan, the first to TP in, charges on its way towards the Queen of Pain. Immediately they come forward with the duel, but look how tanky Milan is. The backup for 3-3 with a vacuum wall drop down. Madara does have the Chrono available. He is going to see a chance to drop it. This huge combo with a Fatal Bond Sonic Wave bursting down the Night Stalker. Madara, now he drops the Chrono, gets the 2 of them in there, looking towards 3-3, gets the Darkseer. They've lost 3 on the side of Planet Dog. The root connecting onto the Troll. They surround him, but Swift then he puts the BKB, gets the bash onto Madara. Can he finish it off? One more touch will do it. He gets the Void kill. Kaiser finds Legion Commander as well on the side of it all, but the Chaotic Offering Golem pummeling down a Swift ending. Thug able to pop the Aegis once. They've taken down the Troll. Kaiser, phase shift, turns towards the Quap, has the silence, but Thug uses himself up. Kaiser ticking down incredibly low. Will he actually be able to blink himself out? He can. Does escape. mouz will lose 3. But again, as we're seeing, with the usage of their ultimates, they can do a lot of work against Planet Dog's lineup. Fighting into the Aegis, the trade indeed, because of the way that the lead is there for Planet Dog, even so on kills, they get actually 4 for 3. That's including just the Aegis pop. They've got to be careful, Planet Dog, of grouping up. And really nice control as well from Madara. He held on to that Chrono. He knew that he had to make sure that it was beneficial for his team. He couldn't afford to set something up that could favor Planet Dog, which, as we've seen, is very easy to do so in these fights. You know, if he's just a step off with the Chrono, the fight could be going the way of Planet Dog.
Yeah, he knew that MNT was right next to them, so he could get the Overgrowth off, and the Overgrowth doesn't have the same kind of team fire mechanic as a Chronosphere does, so he waits for the Overgrowth first. Really nice Sonic Wave follow-up from Thug, and then after the fact, he just Chronos on a Swift ending. They kited out the BKB fairly well, given that was a 10-second BKB coming in from the Troll Warlord. And all things considered, you know, they didn't make him pop the cheese, because I think they gave it to 33. Yeah, he still got it in his inventory. But they did take away the opportunity of that Troll having
the Aegis into the siege, and it buys him some time.
YMNT, he's come out a little bit too far. We'll try for the TP out. Can they get the bash? They don't need it. You don't need to bash him if you kill him.
God, he just evaporated.
With the tree down, they want to push. Chronosphere back up though. Chaotic offering 35 seconds. Can mouz continue to hold themselves in this game where Planet Dog overall continue to just climb this lead, a very, very sizable lead as well. 13,000 at the moment, and here we have it. Last time they didn't get away with taking the tier 3 tower because of the overgrowth play, but with no tree there, they've got a good chance. But I say that, the actual jump's going to be in with the duel. Sonic Wave as well, but there's the vacuum wall into the charge, grabbing two. Chrono does come out to 4, but where's the follow? Spartan still 10 seconds until the golem. If only he had it, he says to himself, as now Planet Dog, they move in for the collateral, get the Warlock, get the Trian, as well as the Legion. Silence onto the faces Void. J4 charges forward, looking for the bashes. Do they have the follow-up control? They don't. Madara's will be able to time warp back, keeping self alive. Thug able to blink away. Jump forward from Kaiser as the silence charge coming in yet again. Thug with another blink back. J4, he will hold back on the charge. Doesn't want to follow through straight into the base. Madara jumping in with the time dilations. There's actually a buyback from 3-3 on the Dark Seas. He looks to get himself back in on this fight. Milan with the crippling fear, but Madara Manta styles himself out of the silence. They managed to clear up the mid lane. They now move up to the top. Thug trying to do his best to punish. Uses up the troll to make sure that he doesn't get himself bashed up. Now, Madara TPing towards the tower. Does not have Chrono, of course, already used. And now Kaiser jumps in. Silence. They've dragged it back with a vacuum. Scarlet trying to come in the midst of it all. There's the 5-man chaotic offering. Dropped down by Spartan. They've lost the Night Stalker. Duel from Skylark onto Swift Ending, but Swift Ending, he's winning the battle. The bashes are real. mouz Sports, they've lost 2. Thug trying to finish on Milan, but he flies over to the tree line, has the 1 charges, will stay alive. mouz Sports just with 3 left, forced back to the bases. Planet Dog turn towards the tier 3 on the top lane. Kaiser comes back forward, jaunts in, gets the kill onto the Warlock. 3 now dead on Warlock. 3 now dead on mouz Sports. Can they actually do anything in return? Kaiser just holding these 2 back, making sure that the rest of his team has space to finish off a second set of racks. 15 seconds until Void back up, 20 seconds until Chrono, but that is not soon enough to do anything about this. Planet Dog get away with what they looked for. 2 sets of racks down on mouz Sports' side as they just turn up the heat, and you could just feel it as well in these team fights. Once Planet Dog get the ball rolling, they keep charging, they keep voiding, they keep running in. And mouz Sports, so reliant on these huge team fight cooldowns, just can't deal with it.
It's like, if you give them an inch, they're going to take a mile. That's pretty much what the lineup of Planet Dog is able to do, and this is a really good justification, I think, for banning Darkseer in the second game.
I think you've got to. 3-3. I mean, the speed he gets his items, and then the effectiveness in these team fights. It just vacuums into everything. These vacuums into multi-man charges. You're literally pulling mouz Sports apart, and there's little they can do to 3-3, just dragging them around however he wishes in these team fights.
It even goes back further than this, too. I mean, I agree, definitely in the team fights he's been extremely potent, but it's all about enabling the Night Stalker and the Spirit Breaker to just do whatever they want. You Ion Shell these 2 heroes. What is a Warlock going to do against that in the laning phase? Like, you get charged, you get dove onto the tower. Madara and Spartan completely suffered during the laning phase, and the Darkseer is pretty much the only hero I think that would enable you to pick Spirit Breaker and Night Stalker together and still have that much success because of just their innate ability to run at heroes, you know, close the gap and be able to just abuse Ion Shell and Surge to its fullest potential. Yeah. I think moving forward, as this game looks to be almost out of reach now for mouz Sports, it's about a 20,000 net worth advantage, and they're down 2 lanes.
And the even worse news for mouz Sports is the fact that 3-3's now got his blink. You can expect big things. They're smoked up. They go for the charge onto Madara. He needs some sort of a save. There it is, Matt Stoke. Can he get the time walk off? He can't. The walls drop down. The illusion's been upon him. Nether strike straight onto the tree, and mouz Sports, they're down 2 again. The rest of them forced back to the base, and Planet Dog know that the buybacks aren't there. They turn towards the tier 4s. There's no hope for this Void to get back into the game. He's not got the money for buyback. 1 tier 4 down. A second to start to fall. Skylark jumps in, but immediately gets disarmed. The Sonic Wave comes through, but it's not enough damage. Thug jumping in with the BKB, but they've lost the Legion. GG is called as Planet Dog take game 1 here in this Best of 5 Grand Finals. And as you said, Andy, you got to do something about that Darkseer pick. It had so much of an effect throughout the entirety of the game, enabling every aspect of what Planet Dog's lineup wanted to pull off. What a game one for Planet Dog. They've already had 2 grueling series today, coming into this best of 5 with that game 1 victory. They are on they're on quite some momentum right now.
Yeah, they're on the winner's high.
Yeah.
It's a really good feeling to, I mean, they haven't lost a game today. They 2-0'd their first 2 series. They just beat mouz in the first game of the best of 5 series
Feels
here.
pretty good.
I really think that Darkseer he's a hero enabler. There's a couple other of them in Dota 2 where you could pick these combinations and it just lets you play a specific style. But if you ban out that hero, then you don't see a Night Stalker and a Spirit Breaker together. And I don't think you see Spartans suffer nearly as much as he did in this game. A passive offlaner like Tide, I don't think would have had nearly as much success because then you don't really have the added damage that you need when you're tower diving to be able to apply pressure to the Warlock and the Void safe lane. So to me, that was really the biggest part of the game. I mean, Swift Ending played great, and then Kaiser played great. You know, Kaiser didn't even die that game. He was 8-0 and 20. 0 deaths.
No,
And, I mean, Skylark, if you want to compare the efficacy of the offlaners in that game, Skylark compared to what 33 was able to do in the game, it's like not even close.
I mean, this is the thing as well. Before this game, we were saying you got to look at these 2 offlaners. You know, Skylark has been having an incredible run, but as you say, he just wasn't able to do anything. It felt like this game. I mean, sometimes he was able to save someone, but that's not what you want to see from your off-lane role. I mean, great, you can save one of your teammates, but you need to have them doing something, especially as you said, when the enemy's off-laner is going absolutely ham. And I think overall as well, it was definitely the fact that, as we said, with the lineups they had, mouz, they'd obviously drafted themselves around this way that was like, well, when Planet Dog run at us, we've got good ways to counter it and to have a good team fight. But then maybe they kind of forgot or overlooked the fact that Planet Dog, they can run at you any time of day.
Yeah.
Whereas as mouz, you can answer that maybe once a minute and a half with those long ulti cooldowns.
Well, you can't answer it at all before level 6.
Yeah, and that as well.
That's the problem. It's like the laning phase is what owned them so hard because Madara didn't really get that good a farm in his lane. Spartan died twice. It seemed like they were kind of holding off a little bit, but every single time they didn't have like perfect coordination in the team fight. They just got completely slaughtered. And there was like no backing off from the side of Planet Dog. They had such good chase potential. Blink Puck, Surge on the Darkseer, a Night Stalker who just gives all the vision in the world, and then J4 Spirit Breaker who, even though he spent quite a bit of time in the bottom lane just trying to help Swift Ending get off to a good start, he's eventually just left, started charging, getting kill after kill. And you play around the cooldowns like that, and yeah, that kind of lineup that plays this consistent pressure, you're always going to be able to find something.
Absolutely crazy. What a start for Planet Dog here in this best of 5. I'm sure you ladies and gentlemen will not go anywhere because Game 2 is going to be round the corner. Game 1 finishes, Planet Dog take the victory, and pretty much the summary there. Kaiser, the Puck, ending up with more dual damage than the Legion Commander. That's when you know things have not gone too great. We'll see you very shortly, ladies and gentlemen. Should be a couple of minutes, and we'll be able to get ourselves into Game 2 of Planet Dog versus mouz Sports in this Grand Finals. Don't go